Hello everyone. Today we will begin with the subject environmental science. What is environmental science? It is the study of how the natural world works, how the environment affects humans and vice versa. Today we will see what is the definition, scope and basic principles of ecology and environment. Let us see some of the definitions of environment. What is environment? The term environment is derived from a French word environner, which means surrounding. Some important definitions of environment are: according to Boring, a person's environment consists of the sum total of the stimulation which he receives from his conception until his death, indicating that the environment comprises various types of forces such as physical, intellectual, mental, economical, political, cultural, social, moral, and emotional. The next, according to Douglas and Holland, the term environment is used to describe in aggregate all the external forces, influences, and conditions which affect the life, nature, behavior, and the growth, development, and maturity of living organisms. Now we will see the scope of environment. The environment consists of four segments, that is atmosphere, hydrosphere, lithosphere, and biosphere. The first element, that is the atmosphere. The atmosphere implies the protective blanket of gases surrounding the earth. It sustains life on the earth. It saves it from the hostile environment of outer space. It absorbs most of the cosmic rays from outer space and the major portion of the electromagnetic radiation from the sun. It transmits only here ultraviolet, visible, near infrared radiation and radio waves, while filtering out tissue damaging ultraviolet waves below about 300 nm. The atmosphere is composed of nitrogen and oxygen. The unit of measurement for light wavelength is the nanometer. The next segment is hydrosphere. The hydrosphere comprises all types of water resources, oceans, seas, lakes, rivers, streams, reservoir, polar ice caps, glaciers, and groundwater. In this hydrosphere, you will be having nature. 97% of the Earth's water supply is in the oceans. About 2% of the water resources is locked in the polar ice caps and glaciers. Only about 1% is available as fresh surface water rivers, lakes, streams, and groundwater fit to be used for human consumption and other uses. The third segment is lithosphere. It is the outer mantle or the outer layer of the solid earth. It consists of minerals occurring in the earth's crust. Crust in the sense it is the outer layer. And the soil, example minerals, organic matter, air, water. Fourth segment is the biosphere. It indicates the realm of living organisms and their interactions with environment and atmosphere, hydrosphere and lithosphere. This is the pictorial representation of the segments of environment where it is shown lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere and biosphere. Now we will move on to the principles of environmental studies. According to UNESCO, the guiding principles of environmental education should be as follows. The first one is environmental education should be compulsory right from the primary up to the postgraduate stage. Next, environmental education should have an interdisciplinary approach by including physical, chemical, biological, as well as socio-cultural aspects of the environment. It should build a bridge between biology and technology. Environmental education should take into account the historical perspective, the current and the potential historical issues. Environmental education should emphasize the importance of sustainable development, that is, economic development, without degrading the environment. Next one is environmental education should emphasize the necessity of seeking international cooperation in environmental planning. Environmental education should lay more stress on practical activities and first hand experiences. Now we will see what is ecology. Ecology is the science of interrelationship between organisms and the environment. Then what is environment? Environment is the surroundings in which living and non-living beings interact and interchange nutrients and energy. Ecosystem is a system formed by the interaction of co-acting organisms and their environment. Ecosystem is also a group of organisms interacting among themselves and with environment, which is known as ecosystem. Now we will see some of the definitions of ecology. Ecology is the study of interactions among organisms with their environment. The flows of energy and materials between abiotic and biotic components of ecosystem. Ecology is the scientific analysis and study of interactions among organisms and their environment. Ecology as a science plays an important role in our understanding of various ecosystems. It is an interdisciplinary field that includes both biology and earth science. Ecology is the scientific study of the reciprocal relation between organisms, including microbes, plants, animals, as well as man, with their environment. The term ecology was coined in 1868, derived from two Greek words, oikos meaning home and logos meaning study. Scope of ecological studies. It deals with the study of flow of energy and materials in the environment. It deals with the study of nature and its function. It deals with the exchange of various materials between the biotic and abiotic components of environment. The solution of a particular ecological problem requires several lines of approach. None of this constitute an end itself, but each one of these makes important contribution in making the picture complete. The solution of a particular ecological problem requires several lines of approach. None of these constitute an end itself, but each one of these makes important contribution in making the picture complete. These various lines of approach towards the ecological problem can be translated as: first one, biotic. Biotic factors are the direct outcome of the various types of activities amongst the animals. The competition for food and shelter always exists among the members of a community. This competition demands various types of activity amongst the animals. Next one is quantitative. Quantitative study includes an assessment of the population density in a given area and also an estimation of the number of members present in different communities. Information of this kind is of immense value in solving many problems like food availability and movement within a particular colony. Next comes the climatic, which has both physical and chemical conditions. Climatic factors include both physical and chemical conditions present in a habitat. These factors are ever changing in nature. Physical factors include mainly temperature, light, and humidity. Chemical factors include acidity or salinity that are specially present in aquatic habitat. Some animals are so sensitive that a minute climatic change becomes fatal to them. Climatic factors play an important role in the distribution of animals. Next comes the taxonomic factor. Taxonomy means classification, naming, and description of organisms. A mere naming of a large number of animals of a given area. Thus, an observation of the various ecological factors together with taxonomy is emphasized in ecology. Next comes the genetic and evolutionary factor. The genetic and evolutionary aspects have taken a rightful place in ecological problems. In recent years, the knowledge of heredity and the mechanism of the operation of natural selection have increased to a considerable extent. Today, we will finish the subtopics here. Tomorrow, we will deal with the next topics.